Main event time. What is there to break down? Ryan Bader versus Fedor Emelianenko. This lasted not long. I'm going to give you all a look at it momentarily. 35 seconds, round one. Ryan Bader became a double champion by beating Fedor Emelianenko. Let's take a look at the footage, my friends. Let's just see how it went down. Womp. And that's a wrap. Ryan Bader emerges victorious. Joseph Boza says, this whole tournament felt weird to watch. Those 8 heavyweight fighters weren't heavyweight fighters. Ryan is 12-1 in his last 13 fights. Yeah, I bought Ryan Bader in it. I didn't buy a lot of these guys. Chael Sonnen, what's he doing in it? Rampage, sure. He ain't going to light heavyweight. He's a heavyweight now. Aaron Nicholson asks, how many times did Bader get hit in the tourney? I think maybe 0. He might not have gotten hit at all in this tournament, which is amazing. Fedor's washed, man. And I'll shoot you all straight about that. Look at Fedor's record. Look at who he's beaten lately. Did he used to be a great fighter? Yeah, he used to be one of the greatest fighters of all time. Is he now? No. Chael Sonnen, all right, cool. You're beating a guy 2 weight classes down. Frank Mir's going to be a pro wrestler now. Fabio Maldonado, you lost that fight, homeboy. You lost that fight, Fedor. Jaideep Singh? What is Jaideep Singh? What is he? Who is he? 2-3 in his career? All right. Cool. Those are the people he's beaten since 2015. Mitrione beat him. How about the balls on Matt Mitrione in his commercial to say, me and Karatanov, we're a super fight. That's a super fight. The balls on Matt Mitrione to call that a super fight, and the balls on Bellator and Paramount to, 1, leave it in the commercial, 2, run that unedited. Man. So Bader, a guy who should have gotten a UFC light heavyweight title shot after he beat Nog, he crashed the press conference with Daniel Cormier. And he sold me in Showdown Joe. Before that, we were like, really, him? He sold us, man. I was ready for it. And then they didn't give it to him. He jumped to Bellator and he became a double champion. It's amazing the way that works out. I feel a little robbed of a Ryan Bader Cormier fight. Now, a lot of you may say, well, Ryan Bader isn't the most exciting fighter, yada, yada. I mean, not always, but sometimes you get fights like this where he starches Fedor Emelianenko in a matter of seconds, where he starches King Mo in a matter of seconds, where he'll put away Linton Vassell in violent fashion, where he'll finish Nog, he'll finish Ilir Latifi. Sometimes you'll get that. In this latest run, since Anthony Johnson knocked him out, he's been a different fighter. He's had, he's had 2 decisions, the Phil Davis fight and the Matt Mitrione fight. Phil Davis, who has a big wrestling skill set, and Matt Mitrione, who is way bigger than Bader. I don't blame him for that. Man. Ryan Bader told James Lynch that he has maybe 1 more fight left after this one. I don't believe that. I do not believe, unless you say he says 1 more fight on his contract. If he has 1 more fight on his contract, I could definitely see him going back to the UFC. And if he goes back to the UFC, I'd love that to be one of the fights that Cormier does. Give me Jones, give me Lesnar, give me Bader. I would love to see those 3 fights. That would be fantastic. However, Ryan Bader and Bellator has probably got Czech Congo up next. Czech Congo has sneakily won 8 fights in a row. That's crazy. He wasn't even in the tournament, which is wild. They didn't want to put him in there. I mean, anytime you have a fight with Czech Congo, you run the risk of it being one of the most boring fights of all time. I mean, he had like I think 6 straight decision wins, or 5, and then he's won by knockout the last 2 times. If he gets past Minikov, he's getting the title shot. If Minikov wins, Minikov's getting the title shot. Which the funny thing about all this is, they're running this tournament because Minikov didn't fight in Bellator for 5 years. Now he's back. The title gets decided 3 weeks later. Minikov's back. My God, what a situation we are in. We're going to talk about this at length on Tuesday on the Fightful MMA podcast with Showdown Joe and James Lynch. James Lynch will have unprecedented backstage access, and we'll be talking about all this stuff. Leave us a thumbs up, subscribe. We're out.